Welcome to the Fitness Beginner Podcast, where we help you take the first steps on your fitness journey. Whether you're new to working out or you're looking to get back into it, we've got you covered with tips, tricks, and inspiration to help you reach your goals. So grab your workout gear and let's get started. All right, and we are live. Welcome back with Murphy Mac to another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast. It's Monday. Hope y'all had a great day. Hope you started your week off right. Did something positive to work towards your goals, to move your body, get a workout in, ate right, something. Y'all know what it is. Appreciate y'all tuning in today for another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast. We got a good little topic for y'all today. And if y'all watching the live stream or the video version of the podcast, y'all gonna see my shirt. So that's kind of what the topic's gonna be about today. If you're listening on the audio and a replay, my shirt says plant fuel. So today the topic is, should you go plant-based, vegetarian or vegan? We're going to talk about why you should or why you should not go plant-based. And then at the end, we're going to talk about what I personally do in my diet and kind of my thought process behind my diet and the things I eat on a day-to-day basis. But first, you already know we got to update you about myself. Took the whole week off of endurance training, trying to recover from the Ironman. I got back in the gym last week and started working out, but I took it very easy, doing very lightweight, mainly body weight stuff, just to get my body back into kind of that weightlifting rhythm. But this week had my first like real workout. I did a push day workout today. If you follow me on all my socials, y'all saw my workout that I posted today. If not, go check it out. Murphy Mac Fit on pretty much all the social medias. You can check out my push workout from today. So talking about the different segments of the podcast, I was thinking about this after the last episode I did, and I was going back and listening to the episode after I posted. So I always go back and re-listen to every episode just so I can listen to it again, the audio only version, so I can kind of learn about how I did and some things that I would change or things that I liked, things that I didn't like. So after doing my analysis of last week's podcast, I decided that I don't want to do any other segments anymore besides just the actual podcast topic. I'm not going to do the fitness quote of the week, not going to do the quick tip of the week, and not going to do fitness news of the week anymore because I realized that my podcast is an educational based podcast. I've thought about my viewers, they get on here to learn and then get off. Like that's all they do. And they get on, they want to learn what they want to learn, whatever the topic is about, and then they want to go about their day and do whatever. With that being said, it's gonna make the podcast episodes shorter, which is kind of the opposite reason of why I added those other segments in the first place. So I wanted to add the extra segments in the podcast to make the podcast longer so y'all should get so y'all can spend more time with me and get more value. But then after some analysis, I realized that that's not really the case. There's no need to make the podcast longer because I'm not a entertainment based podcast. Yeah, some podcasts are more on that entertainment level, which means they need to keep your attention for longer. They need to make it longer so y'all can kind of hang out and make that connection more. But that's kind of not the it's not the way I want to go about my podcast. I want to keep the podcast more educational based to teach y'all different tips, tricks, techniques, everything about fitness. Just anything that can help you get started on your fitness journey so that you can learn and grow and ultimately get in better shape and get healthy. Because that's the whole idea at the end of the day. So with that being said, I'm gonna take out for now, I'm gonna take out the other segments of the podcast. I may or may not bring them back or change them up. I don't know. We're gonna play around with it. Nothing is set in stone just yet. I'm still honestly, I still feel like a newbie when it comes to the whole podcasting scene, but we still playing around with it. We're gonna figure it out eventually. But for now, we're gonna cut the extra podcast segments out and we just gonna do the main topic. I don't even care if the podcast episode lasts for 5 minutes. If I can get on there, drop some value in 5 minutes and you can take something from it, hey, then that was a win. The podcast episode may be 45 minutes, it may be 5 minutes, whatever. We just gonna get on here, drop as much value as possible in the shortest amount of time. a way that way y'all can get on about your day and go achieve greatness, do whatever it is you gotta do during your day. With that being said, let's hop into the fitness podcast. I mean, the fitness topic of today, which is should you go plant based? Should you go vegan, vegetarian, or vegan? I don't know where I got vegan from. So we're gonna look into first. We're gonna look at why you should consider a vegan or vegetarian diet, a plant based diet. First and foremost, you're gonna eat nutrient rich plant based foods. Basically, the whole foods, foods that are rich in vitamins, leafy greens, kale, spinach, broccoli, all these foods that have the antioxidants, berries, fruits. It's gonna limit the foods that you can eat, so you're gonna eat healthier foods. You're gonna get more nutrient-rich foods. Number 2, lower calories. Since you can't eat a lot of those junk foods and things because they're not considered plant-based, you're gonna be eating healthier foods, which means they're gonna have lower calories, and you can eat more of it. So you can eat more food that are lower calories, and it's gonna help you maintain your weight or lose weight. Overall, you're gonna be eating lower calories throughout the day, which is normally a plus unless you're trying to gain some weight, gain some muscle. Then we'll talk about that later on down the road. Number 3, fiber in your diet. Fiber is gonna help you with your satiety, with like that feeling being full, that feeling of being full. It's gonna help you reduce the amount of food that you're eating because you're gonna feel food. I mean, you're gonna feel full. So there's a lot of fiber in whole grains, legumes, vegetables. These promote that feeling of fullness. It's key to get that high fiber, satiating foods in your diet when you're doing vegan or plant-based diet. And number 4, the ethical and environmental reasons. Eating plant-based can help like agriculture and things like that, keep the farmers, make sure they still have a job, they're the ones that's gonna be producing all these plant-based food. It's gonna reduce the carbon footprint. Eating processed food it's gonna create waste with all the wrappers and the boxes and all the stuff that goes into making all these processed foods. If you're eating whole foods, it's gonna reduce that carbon footprint and all the waste and plastic products that you're gonna leave behind. So it's good for the environment also, and it's good for your body at the same time to eat plant-based. The next part, we're gonna talk about why you may not want to go vegan, why you should approach veganism with caution. So, number 1 is the protein quality and your protein quantity. You're not going to be getting as much protein in your diet, period. So, whether you're losing weight, you're trying to lose weight, this is not going to be that big of a deal. I mean, yeah, you still want to get that high protein in, but you can get away with not eating as much protein in your diet. But if you want to gain muscle, this is going to be critical for you. You got to get the protein in. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to get your protein in. So it's going to be hard for you to build muscle on a vegan diet. Can you do it? Yes, you definitely can. There's plenty of vegan bodybuilders out there that are absolutely shredded. I don't know how they do it, but they do, and they've got it down to a science. So it is possible. You can build muscle, get big, get lean on a plant-based diet. But it's gonna make it harder. It's gonna give you more obstacles to get around. It's gonna make you have even more discipline to reach those goals. Number 2, nutrient deficiencies. So when you cut out meat, you're cutting out a lot of nutrients. You're cutting out B12, other things like this, iron, zinc, things that you would get through your meats normally. You're cutting a lot of this out, so you may suffer from vitamin deficiencies. This may or may not be a big deal. I mean, you can supplement with vitamins and things like that to to get those supplements in, or you can get them through sources like lentils and nuts and things like that. So you'll have to make sure you're getting these vitamins from different sources. And you have to make that like you have to emphasize that more to get those extra vitamins in that you normally would from eating meat. This way you don't create nutrient deficiencies in your diet. Number 3, digestive challenges. When it comes to eating those fiber-rich foods, this can it can lead to digestive problems pretty much because of that high fiber intake. It can can kind of mess with your stomach a little bit. It can give you that discomfort. Sometimes you want to introduce things like fruits and vegetables slowly so that it don't mess your tummy up, basically. But it's not an issue for everybody. Not everybody has stomach problems. I would say I'm probably one of the people that don't have that many digestive issues, so I don't see this being a problem for me. But if you are known for having digestive issues, then this could be something to look out for. And number four, social and practical considerations. Think about challenges that you would come upon just in your day to day activities of how of like not being able to eat meat. It makes it harder to go out to social gatherings, go to family gatherings, dining out, social situations, things like this. Most places you're gonna go, they're gonna have meat. That's gonna be the main portion of the meal in most places you go. So you gotta figure out ways to combat that. You gotta figure out other foods that you can eat, other foods you can substitute instead of eating the meat because especially if you live in America, meat is like the main course of the meal. So it's going to be hard for you to stay plant based when you're going out to social settings. So you just got to keep this in mind when you're going on the vegan diet. If all they got is meat there, you're just going to be hungry. Like you ain't going to eat. So you got to come up with alternatives. You got to know what you can and can't eat. So this way you're prepared when you're coming to social situations, social gatherings, things like that. So yeah, that's just a few reasons why you should or should not go plant based. And now I want to kind of tell you my approach behind diet and plant based, yay or nay. In my opinion, I think you should go as plant based as you can get. Like your diet should be plant based as possible. But at the same time, I do not agree that you should go completely vegetarian. Like I don't think you should cut out meat. I think meat is good for us. I personally eat meat in my diet. I don't think a meal is a meal without having meat, in my opinion. Like the meat is always the main course for me. I'm always trying to put on muscle. I'm trying to put on weight. I'm trying to get my protein in. So the best way for me to do that is getting it through protein. So that's why I always make sure I have some kind of meat source in each one of my meals. But other than eating straight meat, everything else that you eat in your diet should be plant based besides the meat. So you should only be eating whole foods, which means foods that only have one ingredient. So anything that grows on a tree, grows in the ground, doesn't have a wrapper, it's not processed. These are all whole foods. This is what you should be eating. I think you should go plant based with the addition of meat, if that makes sense. So I don't even know if that's a term, but like basically eating all whole foods, but I don't think you need to cut out meat. Personally, me personally, do I think it's okay for you to cut out meat if you want to? Yes, you can. There's plenty of people that's vegan. There's plenty of people that's vegetarian, and I would say they're very healthy for the most part. They just have to emphasize getting those nutrients that they would lack from the meat. They'll have to get those in different sources. They'll have to either supplement with those nutrients or make sure they're eating a lot of certain other foods that do carry those vitamins and nutrients. So can it be done? Yes, it definitely can be done. Do I think you should cut out meat? That's a personal choice. If you want to, go right for it. But it's gonna hinder you a little bit when it comes to building muscle and even losing weight too. I think you meat can be good for your diet when you're also losing weight. So that's kind of my approach. So I'm not like for or against a vegan diet. If you wanna do it and that's your choice, then go for it. Go right for it. I think you can be perfectly healthy on a vegan or vegetarian diet, but I also think you can be perfectly healthy while eating meat too. It kinda comes down to, like, your morals and your ethics of what you think is right and wrong. So if you think it's okay to eat meat, then eat meat. If you don't believe it's okay to eat meat, then you'll be perfectly healthy without eating meat, as long as you're getting those vitamins and nutrients where they're needed at. But yeah, that's my take on the vegan vegetarian diet. Should you go plant based? Yes, you should go plant based as much as possible. And if you want to eat meat, you can also eat meat, but you don't have to. But yeah, that's all I got today. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Hope y'all got something from the podcast. If you've been thinking about going vegan, vegetarian, hey, try it out. See if you like it. If you don't, you can always come back to eating meat. Or if you are vegan, you are vegetarian, and you can't hit your fitness goals, hey, maybe you need to add some meat in there, and it may help you out, especially if you're trying to build muscle. A lot of meat has a lot of protein in it, and they're pretty low in calories, so it's a great food, and it keeps you satiated, so it's gonna keep you full. It's gonna keep you from eating as much food because protein is the most satiating nutrient there is. So try it out. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you have any podcast topics you want me to cover, let me know. Send me a DM, Instagram, Facebook, wherever. Follow me on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel for the podcast specifically. It's actually where I go live on YouTube. It's at the Fitness Beginner Podcast. I'm not really posting any videos there. I'm just posting the live streams. But hey, if y'all want to watch the video version of the podcast, y'all go check out the live stream, the Fitness Beginner Podcast. It's also on my Facebook, just Murphy McCammon. It's my name. LinkedIn, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. I go live everywhere. Y'all check it out. Follow me, Murphy McFit, or at the Fitness Beginner Podcast. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about not doing the extra segments. If y'all do like the segments, hey, let me know. We can bring them back. If y'all don't like them, let me know. Hey, get to the point, drop the value, and get off. We got other things to do in our day. We can't sit around and listen to you talk all day. As much as I would like y'all to sit here and hang out with me and listen to me all day, I know y'all got busy lives. Y'all got things to do. Y'all got to go to work. Y'all got to get y'all workout in. Y'all got to take care of your kids. I understand how life is. So we're going to keep it short and straight to the point. And hopefully y'all got something from today. Peace, love, protein. We out. Thanks for tuning in to the Fitness Beginner Podcast. We hope you found today's episode helpful and inspiring. Remember to always start small. Set realistic goals. And most importantly, have fun. Don't forget to tune in next week for more tips and advice on how to kickstart your fitness journey. Until then, stay active and stay healthy.